what's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Austin Trail series. All right, guys, so I'm out in southwest Austin. I am going to be running the Slaughter Creek Trail, not to be confused with the Slaughter Creek Loop, which is further west than where we're at right now. So Slaughter Creek Trail is, so you've got Slaughter Lane, that is to the north, and to the west, you've got Brody Lane. And both of those are main intersections, main streets here in deep South Austin. So the neighborhood that I'm going to be featuring, which actually adjoins this particular trail, is called Bauerle Ranch, and Bauerle is spelled B-A-U-E-R-L-E, Bauerle Ranch. Yeah. So, but interestingly enough, to get to this particular trailhead or start of the trail, I actually had to go through a neighborhood called Shady Hollow. And Shady Hollow is a very popular neighborhood, one of the older neighborhoods here in Southwest Austin. It's a great neighborhood, and I really thought about featuring Shady Hollow, but it's massive, and so it's got a ton of different little sections. But if you're interested in learning more about Shady Hollow, as well as stats, what homes are selling for, age of homes, average size, all that kind of good stuff, hey, just leave a comment in the comments below, and I'll be sure to respond and help you out in any way that I can. So why Bauerle Ranch? So Bauerle Ranch is actually surrounded by just this huge green space. You've got a couple of sections of Bauerle Ranch, one that sits right in the middle of where the trail runs, and then you've got another section that is, I'd say northeast, closer to Slaughter Lane. This particular trail is that we're going to be running today is 3.3 miles. It is, according to the All Trails app, considered an out and back. So what's really neat about this area, this green space here, is that there are a ton of neighborhoods that feed into it. So I live in a neighborhood called Cherry Creek, and Cherry Creek is just maybe, it was a 6-minute drive for me. It sits north of this particular area, but you've got Shady Hollow, you've got Olympic Heights, you've got Brody Springs, you have the estates at Bauerle Ranch. So there are a ton of neighborhoods in and around this area, but the closest, I would say, aside from Shady Hollow, is going to be Bauerle Ranch, with that main pocket of Bauerle Ranch sitting smack dab in the middle of the trail in this green area. Okay, so once again, I am going off of All Trails, the All Trails app. And as you can see here, it is the Slaughter Creek Trail. It is 3.3 miles, the loop that we're going to be doing. Elevation gain of 108 feet. And it's described as an out and back. Let me pull up the map here real quick so you can see. But I'll also be sure to include the link, like I did in episode 1, in the description, as well as the Strava link. And it looks to be a pretty simple route to follow, so we shall see. Hey, and just a real quick note, I am going to commit to making these videos a little shorter than that first one. That first one was really long, but at the same time, I had to introduce the series, let you guys know a little bit about what it was going to be about, why I was doing it, that kind of thing. So yeah, All right, let's get this party started. Damn it, I almost forgot to turn on my watch again. Gotta set my watch. All right, the watch says I'm ready. So now let's get this party started. Yeah, so let me check the phone here. Yeah, so if you're starting where I started, let's see here, Slaughter Creek Trail, Trevor's Switchback. Yeah, so it looks like we keep going this direction. All right, we're gonna go right. Breaking out the phone every single time. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So we're just gonna do a little exploring here and hope that we're on the right trail. Going the right direction, it is. All right. We may have taken a wrong turn. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yep. I know where we were wrong. We took a right and we should have taken a left. But check this out. The estates of Bauerle Ranch. So this is just another section of Bauerle Ranch. And bingo, trailhead. So again, if you're on that side or this side, or even the side further north, you've got pretty much immediate access to this trail. All right, let's retrace our steps and course correct. Hydration first. So it's a little grown up. It's okay. No biggie. All right. All right. Obviously don't want to meet up with any slithery friends here on the trail. So I want to be cognizant of that. Just hit our first mile. All right, you can see here that we definitely hit some spots that are overgrown. You got to really pay attention to where you're going. So, like right here, have no idea. Okay, when in doubt, follow the sign. Slaughter Creek Trail, Oslo Trail. Okay. So we need to keep going this way. Let's see where it takes us. All right, and just realized, like a doofus, that I did not bring an extra battery. And my battery life is already down to about 25%. So I'm gonna have to conserve my battery. So that means I'm gonna get a little running in on my own, and then I'll try to hit some of the key spots along the route. But yeah, this section right here is nice and overgrown. So, you know what? Let me break out the phone here. Ooh, check this out. This is pretty cool. So I'm assuming that that is Slaughter Creek. Yeah, so we're on the right trail. Looks like we're gonna come up to a spot where we're gonna have to take a left and then a right. And that really right in here is kind of the turnaround point where you start looping back. So, all right, so I'm gonna turn off the camera for a little bit and kind of follow this trail, and I'll get some footage on the way back. All right, so I'm at the far edge of the trail, kind of at the, well, I am at the turnaround point. So I would say for like a good, maybe half mile, there was some really nice runnable sections, but for 2/10 to 3/10 of a mile, man, it was just drudging through high grass. So yeah, so I am going to, it looks like this section is that I'm heading back on is going to be pretty runnable. So I've got 18% left in the battery, so I figure, hey, let's chance it. Okay, so yeah, so going or coming, you come across this concrete piece right here, and then you turn right, and then it loops back around. You go back over. I'm going to go back a little different than I came, because when I came up to this little spot right here, I noticed, see, the trail had me coming, you can kind of see where others have walked through here following the trail. But if you look at this, this is definitely the main trail. So we're going to go back that way. Yeah, so I'm going to keep the phone out, see where this takes us. Oh. Okay, so look at that, look at that. We are, you can see, we are definitely off course here. So that means if we're going to follow this exact trail, which is kind of the purpose, then sorry to say we're going to have to go back through all of that brush and overgrown weeds and grass and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we shall do. So I'm going to save the camera battery, what little battery I have left, for the finish. But just so you guys know, that would have taken you, so that would have taken you to another trailhead, which looks like, again, part of maybe the estates of Bauerle Ranch or Shady Hollow. But okay, so see y'all at the end. All right, guys, we are back at where we started. So my watch says 3.44, so a little bit longer than the 3.3, but as you saw, I got lost a couple of times, so that's gonna happen. All right, guys, changed my battery. 3.49 miles, 59 minutes, 58 seconds. Yeah, 59 minutes, 58 seconds. But I forgot to turn off my watch when I got to the car, and so that probably added a couple more minutes. All right, so let me give you my likes. So it's a legit trail. And as you can see, the only car is me. Now, granted, it's Labor Day, so a lot of people are probably doing other things than hanging out on trails. I don't know, maybe they are. But actually on the course, I hardly saw anybody at all. So that's what I like. What I dislike is, you know, especially if your mindset is, hey, I want to go and get a full, 3+ mile run in, and limit as much walking as possible. And I'll put this on the put this in the video here so you can actually see the section of trail that I'm talking about. But there's a good stretch of the trail, I guess on the south side of the creek, that you can't run it at all. And actually, if you're not paying attention, you could easily get off course. I mean, there's a spot there, pretty decent stretch again, where there is no trail. So unless you have your phone out and you're actually following, the trail on All Trails, or my Strava link, then yeah, you could get off course pretty easily. So that's something I really didn't like. Once you got through that section, and there's kind of like a lollipop portion of the trail where you loop back around, or I should say this way, you loop back around, and you cross the same spot twice. Once you cross that concrete bridge area, then that lollipop loop opens up really nice. It is very runnable. You can really get up some good speed. But when you come back, then you've got to go through that section again. And here's the thing, if you had some time to explore, you may very well find a better alternate route for that one section. But if you're if you're going off of the All Trails app, going off of the route that I did, then yeah, you're gonna have to go through that section. So there is no water along the course. There's no water fountains or anything like that. As far as, you know, how technical it is, I would probably say that, gosh, you know, and I know it's relative to each runner, but I would say maybe it's like a 5.5. I mean, there's well, maybe more like a 5. You're gonna have some rocky sections. Yeah, I would probably say a 5, maybe even a little bit lower than that. I'll tell you what's swaying me. What's swaying me is that section there where you just totally lose the trail. But I wouldn't really consider that technical in terms of rocks and roots and stuff like that. Probably wouldn't come here at night because there was just a ton of area for snakes and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't know what I walked through. You know, I could have been walking through poison ivy or whatever. I don't know. And as you can see, you know, I didn't have long socks on or anything. So it's just shorts. Okay, let's see. What else am I forgetting? So I talked about how technical it is, water, bathrooms. Yes, bathrooms. I don't see any bathrooms out here. You've got that section over there. You've got the clubhouse over there, but I don't see any bathrooms out here. So I would say bet on no bathrooms. It's super easy to get to. Brody Lane's a big road, a main road. So no difficulties in getting here. Would I run this trail again? Yeah, I would run it again. I think it would be a really nice trail to run in the wintertime when some of this dies out and it's a little lower. And again, I don't know if anybody comes out here and manages the trail or anything like that. My guess is they don't because, yeah, it just looked like, yeah, no one's been out there in a while. So it is au naturel, legit trail. I would come out here again, though I think this would probably be a trail that I would more than likely frequent in the wintertime, just because some of the growth hopefully would have died by then. So yeah. All right, so you guys ready to take a look at, take a drive around Bauerle Ranch? Let's head that way, but first,